Hey, everybody. Come here, Jax. Come here. No, go over here. Come on. Come here and see Papa. Come here and see Papa. Oh, you all excited? What are you all excited about, huh? What are you all excited about? All right, get on. Hey, everybody. This is Randy Cooper with Witnesses of Abilene, and that's my little buddy Jax, for those of you that are watching for the first time. Got a lot of stuff to go over today, and there's some things that are hard to talk about, but they're things that are going to have to be talked about. So bear with me for a little bit. And the title of today's show is The Three Gorges Dam, Popcorn Anyone? And Drug and Human Trafficking Worldwide. A lot of times when I talk about this, I think people kind of roll their eyes and they think, man, I can't buy into any of this. Well, by the end of this show, some of the links that are there, I think you're not only going to buy into it, but you're going to see how just ugly it really is around the world. And these are facts. These are not wannabes. These are not entertainment from AI. These are real. So what I want everybody to do is just take a deep breath and embrace what you're going to hear. And some of the ones I'm going to suggest that you go watch, and I really do want you to go watch them. So the reason why I want you to go watch them is because it's going to be enlightening. It's going to be offensive to a lot of people. And some of you are just going to shake your head and you're going to think, nah, this doesn't go on. But I think I've got enough of a variety of things around that discussion topic that I'm going to get to. And that's during the trafficking part of this. I believe that you're not only going to be able to see the value in what I'm going to share, but you're also going to be able to not deny the fact that it's real. So for y'all that are joining me for the first time, the show is always posted, all the links down in the description block. And y'all hear Jack's down there. He's been running all over the place and getting crazy, and for whatever reason, he's been eating stupid stuff off the ground that he's not supposed to eat when he goes outside. So we've had all this rain, and there's all this stuff washing up, and I don't know what he got into out there. He got into something. He's been hacking ever since he came back in. So, yeah, Papa's talking about you. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, there you go. Did you have to come back? Did you have to come back again? Did you have to come back again? All right, that's enough. That's enough. Get down. Sometimes he doesn't get it out of his system and he has to come back for seconds or thirds, but that should be it. He should lay down now and just chill out. So, like I said, down in the description, y'all will find the entire show. I had to change what I publish on YouTube because they don't like what I was putting in the comments, and that's the prophetic words. So when you watch on Rumble, the entire show in its entirety, links and everything, to include the prophetic words, will be in the description. You'll find at the very beginning of that area all of the links to where I publish to. The link to Facebook group, the link to the Telegram group, where I post on YouTube and Rumble. And I just pick a spot. I'll go into a little more detail in a little bit. Some of y'all probably heard me say prophetic word and you kind of rolled your eyes, or I don't know. I hope you didn't shut anything off, because I'm going to give you some information down there in that description block to tell you why that I not only pay attention to the prophetic word, but what the Bible says about it. And really the only scripture that anybody can quote is the Bible says, beware of false prophets. Yeah, but he doesn't say beware of prophets. So just read the stuff that's down there. And if you can find something to rebut Ephesians 4:11 through 16 about the fivefold ministry where God doesn't use it anymore, please show it to me. Because then and only then will we have anything to talk about. Until you can rebut that in writing from the Bible, God is always going to use the fivefold ministry, and part of the appointed positions in the fivefold ministry just happens to be a prophet. So there mainstream and everything that goes on in the biblical world, even back in the old days. So the very first thing that I'd like to share with you are the links to all of the Sunday services. And no, I don't have time to watch all of them. I usually watch a little bit of each one of them just to kind of get an idea about what they're talking about. But honestly, I save them for later in the week. And some of them I go back and watch them. I start this evening just, because of time. So the very first one is the Oasis Church. That's Tim Sheets. The next one is Sunday worship. They have two services, one at 9 and one at 11:30, and that's the Lord of Hosts. Then there's a link to the Sunday Morning Service Church International with Robin and Robin Bullock. Then you've got Kent and Candy Christmas, Regeneration Nashville. And then the last one is Cornerstone Baptist Church in Wiley, Texas. Now, some of these videos, like I said, are going to be things that you're going to want to get interested in. Some of these things I'm going to go into a little bit of detail about. All of them. And I see one that I didn't put down at the bottom. And I'll go back and add it before I publish this. So I don't have the title right off the bat. But it's a Judy Byington video from today. And I'll share with you why that's critical that it gets on here. So the very first one, just like the title says, the Three Gorges Dam, the first article is about all of the floods. Here we go. always got to have a good laugh with me about me yawning. So those of y'all that have never watched me before, just laugh it off with me. It's going to happen. I always have a thing within me. If I yawn too many times before I get through the show, I stop and I'll start over again. So hopefully we can get through this. I don't think there's been a video that I've done yet that I haven't yawned at least once or twice in months. So just put up with it. I'm that guy. The title of this video is 329 Rivers in China Exceed Flood Warnings with 75,000 dams in critical condition. Now, the thing about this, I've heard me talk in previous videos about the satanic things that are going on around the world that have got to be destroyed. The Three Gorges Dam is one of them. There's things that go on underneath that dam, and that's why they're underneath it. And we've got one here in the United States. It's the same way. It's to hide the goings on, so it makes it almost impossible for them to come in and destroy it. But that's okay. God can still take care of it, and He will. But that's an article about the conditions of everything over there due to the floods. So we've been having our own problems here in Texas with the floods, but that's what's going on in China, and it's been in prophecy. China will be in your news for a significant reason. So there's China, okay? Not the news, I'm sorry, the prophecies. The next one, you won't believe which blue state just flipped red in massive MAGA victory. Now, the reason why I pointed that out is because I want you to see that things are slowly changing. Now, we've talked about stolen elections, and we've talked about the Brunson case is still in motion. We've talked about several different things, illegitimate presidents appointing people, and once those are proven to be correct, there's going to be a lot of things that change. So I want you to be very careful when you pay attention to what I'm getting ready to say. I want you to listen carefully, and I want you to read that article and see how it happened. Marjorie Taylor Greene has introduced a bill that's going to keep them from being able to do what they've been doing with voter rolls. It's going to get rid of so many illegitimate entries that they're going to have to rezone everything. And the Democrats are automatically going to lose seats because there's no population for the ones that they have. So rather than them having close to the majority like they've always stolen to get, they're getting ready to have the rug jerked out from under them, and it's going to be voted into law. They're not going to be able to stop it. So this is all part of God's plan, I believe, to restructure the United States of America. Another thing that we always talk about is different players, different people that are being revealed right now. And this next one is this next one, if that made a loud popping noise, I'm sorry, I hit the microphone unintentionally. Former Maine candidate for governor and master electrician powers Chinese drug cartel drug houses. So this guy's a bad guy. He's heavily involved with everything from China and in drug trafficking. Okay, you got that? Now, almost every drug cartel, some form of human trafficking is right there close by. And that's probably one of the things that's going to be real hard to talk about or hear. It doesn't get any easier to talk about. There's specific videos that point to things that have gone on in the children's world, and some of it you're just not going to like at all. Some of it you're going to throw your hands up and say, well, they don't really do that. That's just, no, they do. Nothing that I'm going to say is without credibility. None of it. It's all real. It's all factual evidence. Okay. The next one is called Tanks for Kidneys. Now, it's a documentary. It's on organ harvesting and black market transplants. It's done by a group called Crimes Against Humanity. This is probably one of the most disturbing things you'll ever listen to. But it falls right in line with everything else we're going to talk about. Remember I said in the last video, I think it was the last video, that when that ship crossed when it got high ground in the canal, there's number two, that it got grounded, and they found all kinds of stuff on it, to include 55-gallon drums of body parts on some of the tankers. So that wasn't that. I didn't say that just to catch you off guard and make you wonder. I said that because it's the truth. So now we've got a whole documentary, and I suggest you watch this, at least part of it. It's amazing what they're doing with all of this. It's amazing how they've made it all work, how they've orchestrated it. The next one kind of goes right in line with it, but it's more involved. The Invisible War. Clean Out, the underground and rescuing children and adults. It's the Army program to train troops to fight underground. Now remember, we've heard this in the prophecies, and we've heard this over and over and over again from various different places about there being underground tunnels and underground this, underground that. And we'll get more involved in this in a few minutes. Cages. Epic human trafficking truth. Save our children. It's a Rumble video about trafficked children. Now, y'all probably wonder, it's like, well, why you keep putting all this up there about trafficking children? You've already talked about it. Y'all don't get it yet. That's why I keep doing it, because people don't understand how big it is. It's like the next one. I know some of you are going to just shake your head and say, they don't do that. Yeah, they do. Death penalty for high crimes. Human hunting parties. Some of y'all that are listening to me for the first time have never heard this before, but most of you that have been following me have, if you've watched any videos at all. In third world countries. All right. Hopefully that's the last time. I'm open. Wales, Scotland. There have been documented evidence that this goes on. They strip the children down, rape them, or whatever they want to do to them, and send them out on their way. And they hunt them with guns, and they kill them. And whatever they want to do with them, it's their trophy. They get to keep them. So they can do whatever they want to before they kill them. after they've already done whatever they wanted to before they released them. So it's sick. These people are sick. These people are Satanists. And then the last one is kind of confirmation about something that I don't care if you like Trump or not. You need to listen to this very carefully. The title is Trump on Kennedy Center. We're going to fix it up. Now, this is not a long video, but you need to listen to it. Because he talks about underground rooms that nobody ever uses. Well, why would they have underground rooms at the Kennedy Center? What is that for? I'll just leave it at that. Now, I'm going to read the prophetic word from the Lord's Glory with Lori from today. She did not put one out yesterday, so the last one that I read, y'all have heard. The title is Your Red Sea Moment. Now, we talked that God has said over and over again that it's getting ready to be a Red Sea-like moment again. So he's been preparing us, or trying to be able to accept everything that's going to be revealed, because he said all lies will be revealed. Everything that's been stolen from us will be returned or made right. I don't think anybody realizes what all's been done. Not yet. But we're almost getting ready to be right there. We're getting ready to start seeing them pay the piper. And the piper just happens to be God. He's mad, and he's taking back what they've stolen from us for his children. Okay? Listen to this word very carefully, because it's going to kind of mirror some of the things that we're getting ready to talk about. My children, things are about to change. Things will look very different. It's time to play ball. It's time to kick this into high gear. Your resolution is coming in. What's about to take place is a game changer. This nation is under attack, but you're fighting back. Declare the enemy's defeat. Declare your victory. Bring the enemy's plans out in the open. Pray for discernment. Pray for their plans to be stopped. Pray for the mass exodus into my kingdom age. It's approaching quickly. The timeline is one you can see. I have a revelation I'm bringing. The depths of the sea will be seen. There is a rotation occurring. I'm moving things around. The enemy won't know what hit them. Things will go back to the way they were meant to be. Simplicity. I'm drowning the enemy out with the flood of my glory. Walking with me will be easy. I'll restrain the evil. You'll walk in agreement. I'll lead the way. I have good things stored up for my children. A new era. A new day is dawning. I'm birthing something new in this moment. It will be like a train ride into another dimension. Things will change quickly, from gloomy to glory in an instant. You won't be able to contain it. My spirit will fall on the earth like never before seen. This is an epic thing about to take place. I've prepared you for a time such as this. You're a chosen generation for this time. I'm moving in supernatural ways on the earth. It will feel like the twilight zone. A roaring crowd will be heard praising the name of the King. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Mike Huckabee, something will happen. Keep your eyes on the prize. A door is about to open. Walk in. My spirit is leading you. Danger, danger in the skies. It's all coming out. The lies they hid. No more weather modification. The culprits are caught red-handed. It's time for justice on this. So many lives taken and so much damage done. I'll bring down my gavel of justice on them. An operator for a 911 dispatch is about to get a disturbing call. The sounds of horror coming through. A child's nursery will be held hostage by a gunman. Marco Rubio, you are getting the job done. Don't play favorites or let things get in the way. Keep your eyes straight ahead on the task at hand. Don't get distracted and pulled away. Lives are at stake. An energy plant explosion is about to occur. This is near Denver, Colorado. A tractor trailer will be in your news. An Israeli general is about to be caught doing something he shouldn't. A marketplace explosion will soon occur. Pray about where you go. July is heating up. Things are about to intensify and go to a whole new level. It's time to bring them out in the open. Maricopa County, you are busted. Arrests will be made. A sliding glass door is about to break. This is significant. The race is on for accountability. Things will fly. Arrest will be made on unprecedented scales. It's time to put the bad guys behind bars. A flu outbreak is about to hit hard. This is not an ordinary flu, though. It's been modified to do severe damage. Those in my son won't feel its effects. This blows over quickly. A string of events is about to occur at the White House. Watch how strategic this is and how it plays out. My David is bringing hope again to the American people. Praise, honor, and glory to the King. A robotics seminar will be shut down due to malfunctions. A rooster will be in your news. A piano player will be too. Roasting the public isn't helping their game. The left has gone too far this time. It all keeps backfiring on them. They are toast. A Massachusetts mom will be seen making some noise. This gains momentum to a degree. A train wreck is about to hit Sicily. This is really bad. These things go fast. An Oval Office meeting is about to stir the pot. Things are going to happen fast. Many exposures are coming out. Many arrests will be made. There is a solution to all of this my David holds in his hands. Grand jury indictments are about to be made now. The curtain is pulled wide open. Let the show begin. Grab your popcorn and sit back. Pray for justice. Pray for the plans of the enemy to be thwarted. You are taking your nation back. My children, I have something beautiful waiting on you. Once you get through this, you will have all you ever wanted. I have a plan and purpose for all of this. Trust what I'm doing. It's all for your good. Glory days are up ahead. You'll have the best I want to give you. One nation under God with liberty and justice for all. Hold on tight. Seek my face. I'll keep you safe through all of this. I hold you in my hands. I never lose grip. You are protected on all sides. Hang on tight. I'm bringing you through to the other side, says the Lord of hosts, your Redeemer. Now, there's not an easy way to get in this, so let's just dive off in it. These things that are going on around the world right now with weather patterns, floods, and everything else, it's being done. And they know how it's being done. So, remember I said that some of this couldn't be done? Some of these things that needed to take place until Trump got this bill passed through? I don't know, but what one of these is not it. There's several types of weapons that are available to be used. When Lahaina took place, they arrested a lot of people. It wasn't made public. When the hurricane damage went up through North Carolina and South Carolina, There was nothing in the news about them arresting people up there. FEMA. There was nothing in the news about FEMA killing people up there. Barely was it in the news that they stopped rescue efforts and wouldn't let helicopters fly in to bring people out. Law enforcement and FEMA stopped that. So, what I forgot to add, that I'll go back and add, is the link to Judy Byington's show today. She doesn't normally do a show on Sunday. I believe she did the show on Sunday because she's trying to get as much information out that's factual as she can. One of the things that she pointed out is there were people caught and arrested. There were things proven in the satellite world, and it all ties into what happened in Kerrville. Now, y'all have heard me talk over and over and over again about all the different things that are going on, and Judy Byington specifically talks about Kerrville, okay? Now, look at all the links that I gave you about child trafficking, about organ and adrenochrome. I've been talking about all of this for a while now. And I know some of you are just going to roll your eyes and think, well, none of that's true. Well, if you don't listen to any of these, or if you don't go listen to any of these videos, you don't select any of the links, you're just going to stay ignorant to the situation because you're unaware of the truth. And I'm trying to give you the tools to educate yourself. So when the lights go out and they start playing their favorite video for everybody to get up to speed on what's been a lie and what's taken place in the United States and what all's been stolen, what all's going away, and all the people that have been charged with treason and taken out, they've all been assassinated. Well, not assassinated, I'm sorry, that's wrong. They've been dealt with. They've been punished. I don't even know why I said assassination. That's not true. It's not. So let me retract that immediately because I don't want anybody saying, oh, no, he's saying that they're going to go around and say, no, I didn't say that. I misspoke. They have already, the people that have already been to Guantanamo Bay, they've already had their tribunal. Once they get through with the tribunal, they carry out their punishment almost immediately. And that's death for treason. There is no other punishment. It's death. So there's things going on that people just really don't understand. Now, if y'all will remember, I talked about this. Some of you'll remember the first video that I did way back over on Rumble about every time there was something that happened in the areas. So we've had things go wrong in the floods in Kerr County. Now it's affected Austin. Now it's affected kind of northeast of Austin in Georgetown. I want to tell you right now. I'm going to tell you right now. They've already caught them manipulating the weather. Okay, they confirmed it again this time. But I think that it's going to be different going forward because I believe they have not only started arresting people, but I believe that they've captured where they've been doing this from this time. There's some indicators there that they're putting a stop to it. So, are all of these people that are missing deceased? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think they were taken. Now, is that yes or no? If you look up in the areas, specifically Kerrville, Austin, you look up witchcraft, paganism, however you want to spitball it, they're all changing the names so you can't find it real easy online. Paganism is how it shows up mostly, or Wicca. But if you look them up, they're heavily in those areas. If you look up the Freemasons, they're in those areas. You look up underground tunnels, and lo and behold, they're in those areas. They've been dismantling children's trafficking networks across the United States for months now, probably 18 months, 24 months. They've been catching these people and getting rid of them. Where do you think they get their adrenochrome from? That's the elixir of the elite. And if they don't have it, they say that the withdrawals are ugly. So, how much of this are they doing out of necessity to survive? But they're catching them. So we can only hope and pray that they get these kids out of their hands if that's unfortunately what's happened. I know it sounds ugly. I know it sounds horrific. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how dare you? Because God asked us to tell everybody the truth and stop messing around. I'm going to go back to when the earth was destroyed by a flood. For those of you that have never heard this before, and I know there's some people that have joined recently, if you've not heard this before, I'm going to tell you a little story about when the earth was destroyed by water, because it's critical you understand this. God destroyed the earth. He was so distraught by what he had done creating man, he even openly said he wished he had never created man. That's pretty remorseful, isn't it? But Methuselah talked about in prophecy the destruction of the earth. And then comes along the ark. How long did Noah talk to people about the ark? He built it for 100 years. He talked about the prophecy for 125. Now, you got to set the stage here to understand why nobody wanted to believe him. It's not that they didn't know that God did things that were miracles, because there had been plenty recorded. But what they didn't know, they didn't understand, is that it had never rained before. The ground, the dew would rise from the ground and fall back, and that's how everything would get watered. There was no such thing as rain. That's why nobody could believe it. Well, it's never rained before. There's no account in history of water ever falling from the sky. So nobody wanted to believe it. Everybody wanted to keep going in their ways, in their dead set ways, keep doing everything they were doing. The world was a muck. It was so evil. Everything was going on then that's going on now. Child trafficking, it was done differently back then. Satanists, they still held rituals and sacrificed children. Do you think there weren't people back then that ate flesh? Yeah. All of that's still going on around the world right now. These people are evil. Why do you think God's coming back? The only thing different now is he's getting rid of the evil instead of getting rid of the earth. Everything that they planned for us is going to go back on them. And he's told us over and over and over again, we are in the land of Goshen. We will see what happens to them. But if you're a true Christian, it's not going to affect you. We said and we talk about these things over and over and over again. And you know what? Some of you that you keep hearing this, if you've never gone and listened to any of the links that I've given, I hope maybe sometime you will. And if y'all notice this light going in and out, I don't know what this is. I guess I'm going to have to buy a different kind of light because it's hooked up to a USB. It made it simple. I don't have a lot of outlets back here. And I don't know why it's doing that. I have no idea. So just forgive me. Give me a little bit of time. I've got some things that I have to take care of, and I'm going to try something different in the near future. I'm going to say probably in the next 2 months, 2.5 months. I'm going to upgrade computers so I don't have to worry about running whatever program I'm going to pick. And then I'm going to try to do a studio type production that's completely different. It'll be well lit. And I'm going to try to get away from this webcam camera that I've got and go to an actual camera. So you've got a very nice quality. And once I upgrade to everything else, then I'll be able to change the backdrop to something more professional instead of this just bedroom wall. I guess the reason why it's important to me is because when somebody comes on here and sees me, I don't want them to lose faith in me and what I have to say about our Father and Jesus because I don't look professional. That may sound stupid to some of you people, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you drive into a car lot, I know some of you don't want to talk to a salesman. I've been there. I was in car sales, recreation vehicle sales, insurance sales. I've been in sales off and on for years and years and years. What you got to understand is I know there's some people that don't want to talk to a salesman. They detest them. And I loved people like that because as soon as they make eye contact with a salesman, they're like, oh my God, did he see me? I got to run. Yeah, I saw you and I'm coming after you. But it's not to ruin your day. It's to give you an experience that you've never had before. It's to show you what a professional salesman can do for you rather than an idiot do to you. And you drive off having a great experience and you think, my God, why couldn't have all of them been like this? So your first impression of somebody is paramount. Let's face it. Whether you want to hear the message or not, if you had driven up and you got on the car lot and you saw somebody that was out there in high waters in blue jeans and a shirt that exposed his belly and a straw hat, and then you look over and you see a guy that's got dress slacks, a nice gold watch, maybe a gold chain, maybe some type of hat on to keep the sun off his face and his forehead while he's out on the lot. He's got expensive shoes on because he spends all day on his feet, and he's got a really nice looking shirt on. Which one would you feel better buying from? Yeah, the guy that's well dressed, because you feel like he's more of a professional. You feel like when you ask him a question, you're going to get an answer. Now, the other guy may be the best salesman, but in your mind, that's not what you're going to think. He may have just started. He may be broke. He may have just gone through something in his life that broke him, and he changed jobs, and he couldn't even go to Goodwill and buy any clothes to get by yet until he gets paid. I don't know. But I do know it makes a difference. It's just like salesmen. Salesmen do the same stupid thing. And I was trained by one of the greatest salesmen that you'll ever want to talk to. His name was Ray Cavender in Tulsa, Oklahoma. One of the very first things that Ray told me is he said, do not ever make the mistake of not talking to somebody because of how they're dressed or because of their age. He said, you treat everybody like they or somebody they know has got endless pockets, because he said, you'd be surprised how many people you'll come in contact with that really do. So, I was at that dealership maybe 6 months. And we'd had a couple of new salesmen come on about the same time I did, and they didn't last. They just couldn't they just couldn't do what they were going to do. So there was 3 of us. The older salesman pretty much did pickup toppers. He got paid a flat rate, and he was good at selling them. He knew what would fit everything, and he knew what we had in inventory. But we had over 1,000 trailers, motorhomes, tent campers on the property. It was a huge dealership in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So when we go out there and we're trying to do everything that we can do to make sales, everybody chooses who they talk to, especially on a Saturday. It was a Friday afternoon, midday, 2-ish in the afternoon. And this gentleman pulls up in an old beat-up Ford pickup truck. He walks in the front door, and the other guy, not the old guy, but the other salesman that was normally out on the floor with me, what does he do? He comes out there, and he does the same thing that I've seen him do over and over again. He looks at the pickup, he looks at this guy when he walks in the door, and when he looks down at his boots, he sees that he's got, oh, it looked like cow chips dried on his boots. He just turns around and goes back and sits down at his desk. Now, fortunately, the guy didn't see him. But as soon as he came in, I immediately got out behind my desk. I walked over, I shook his hand, I greeted him, I welcomed him to the dealership. I asked him if he'd like anything to drink, and he said, no, he said, I just need to take a look inside this motorhome right here. I said, well, you just come right over here. And I said, is there any questions I could ask from you? And he said, no, not right now. So he steps up on the step. Now, mind you, we've got plastic runners in all the stuff on the showroom floor, so you're not going to hurt it going in. And we've got people that clean. We understand. And he leans in and he looks one way and he looks the other way, and he kind of just stops for a minute looking down toward the end of the unit, the backside. And then he gets back out, and I said, sir, I said, you can feel free to go up in there if you want. I said, you're not going to hurt that. We've got plastic down. And he said, no, he said, I've seen everything I need to see. And I said, well, I really appreciate you coming into the dealership. I gave him one of my cards. He thanked me. And he just took the card and he stuck it in his back pocket where his wallet's at. And I thought, okay, he's just making me feel good that he took it. So he left. I didn't think anything about it. I didn't think I'd ever see the guy again. What does he do? The next morning, Saturday, the busiest day that we have, the lot is full. I've got a customer on the showroom floor that I'm talking to, but he's already told me he's just there looking today. He's not ready to buy anything. And I made it perfectly clear to him. I said, look, I said, you got to understand that today is a Saturday and we've got a lot of people coming and going. So I said, if I need to pop away for a little bit every now and then, I said, just, kind of leave y'all alone and let you do your own thing. I said, don't think anything about it. And he said, oh, no. He said, I understand. I'm just, I'm just here looking. So about that time, I stepped out of the travel trailer that he was looking at on the showroom floor, and I looked around and I saw a DeLorean pull up out front. And I looked at the car, and a gentleman and a really nicely dressed woman gets out of the car. He grabs her hand, and they walk into the front door, and I recognize his face. It's the same guy that was there in the pickup truck. He was the CEO of Sun Oil. He came in and wrote a check for that motorhome. He told me, he said, Randy, he said, I went to every dealership on this side of town, and there was 7 of them on that side of town. He said, nobody'd even talk to me because of the way I was dressed. He said, I'd been working out on the farm, and he said, I wasn't planning on stopping anywhere, but I had a few extra minutes, and I thought, you know what, I'll just swing by and see what's there. And he said, after I went to the first one and nobody would talk to me, he said, I kept going until I found somebody that would. And he said, I didn't care if your motorhomes were $500,000. I was going to come back and buy from you because you are a professional. So the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because the same level of integrity that I gave that man, no matter what he looked like, is the same level of integrity I bring you information with. I'm not here to sweep you off your feet and whisper sweet nothings in your ear. God asked me to be honest with you about everything that's going on. And that's what I'm trying to do. I know some of it's hard to hear. I know some of it's hard to believe. And I know good and well some of it is almost impossible to listen to. But I'll tell you this right now. If you don't take some of the recommendations that I give you to heart, the next coming months are going to be so much harder than you can imagine, and you're not going to be prepared for it. So One of the things that I've suggested to everybody, and nobody's taken it up on it, a lot of people have joined the channels, and I appreciate that more than you know. To see the base of folks that are following these, I'm so grateful. But I want you to understand something. We got to keep going. We got to keep increasing this, because even after God relieves all the evil and he puts us in a position to see what he wants us to have here on earth, for however long he decides that we're going to have it, I got a pretty good idea when it's going to be over. I think when the 1 billionth soul is saved for Jesus Christ is when the tribulation is going to start. At least the negative part of the tribulation. So what I want to do is make everybody aware that right now we got to get to the other side. We have to get through all this evil. We have to get everything revolved. We have to get through the fall of the economic system. We have to get rid of the fall of the change of everything that's going on against us, to include our food poisoned, our water poisoned, our almost all of our food supply. Texas has already lost hundreds of heads of cattle, if not, well, probably thousands, in the floods. These were done purposely. You understand that, right? So, one of the things that you have to understand is that everything that's going on right now has a purpose, it has a plan, it has a place, and it has an end to it. I understand that not everybody's going to realize what that purpose is for everything that has to take place. But ask yourself, if somebody walked up to you and said, you know what? I need you to go around in your town. Let's say you live in Chicago. I don't know how many millions of people are there, but there's a bunch. And I want you to find every dishonest person in Chicago. Now, I understand it's going to take you a while, but I need you to find every last one that's dishonest here in Chicago. And I will pay you $1,000 a week. And as soon as you're finished, I will give you $5 million. And it doesn't matter how long it takes you. Have you ever thought about how hard that would be to identify everybody that's good or bad? This is happening all over the world. Do you understand that? It's not just here in the United States, it's everywhere. Every place that's got anything going on right now, there's evil. Underground, bioweapons labs, trafficking, drugs, humans, guns. And they're getting rid of these people as quickly as they can. But they all have to be exposed. They can't just take people because they think. They got to know. So what does it take to know for sure? Well, they have to be exposed. They have to be caught red-handed, right? Yeah. They have to be caught in the act. So if they're trying to bomb something, guess what? Oh, that's a bomber. We got to get him. Well, he's got a bomb in his car. He just called in a bomb threat, so he's probably guilty. So we can take him. But if you just got somebody driving down the street in a red car, and somebody said, well, you know, there was a guy that robbed a bank in a red car, and it was across town and everything, just because that's a red car, you probably need to stay away from it unless you got more information. Evidence is what they have to pull this off and make it work. And God's already said he's manipulating everything that's going on in the favor of his people. Do you understand what he said? We've been chosen for a time as this to be alive on this earth. Every one of us that's still here. So that means we have a purpose. Either God's still working on you and he's trying to get you saved so you're an active part of the church, actively trying to gain more Christians for Jesus before you're condemned to eternity in hell, Hades, the lake of fire, whatever you want to call it. So what are you going to do? Are you going to just sit back and think, well, I've got all this time. I got my whole life in front of me. No, you don't. There's people that die every day in the 20s and 30s in car accidents. There's people that taken the shots and they're dying early of turbo cancer or whatever. There's plenty of studies out there that have told you how people died from COVID, and they didn't. They were killed treating them for COVID. Or they died from the shot, which I guess would fall under the category of treating them for COVID. If any of y'all think that COVID wasn't to get rid of as many people on the earth as they could, then y'all are still asleep and you need to stop. You need to take a deep breath and ask yourself, where do you get your information from? Because it's not coming from a reliable source and you're hidden from the world. If you're running around with your head underground, it's probably not going to go well for you, because God's trying to educate everybody. There's plenty of people out just like me. And then, of course, the prophets that are releasing the word, all of them have several 100,000 to millions of people that follow them. The good ones don't. They're just several 100,000, not in the millions. I think the only ones that are in the millions are the ones that are crooked. I said that. There's going to be a lot of mega churches that are going to stumble and fall because they're in it for the dollar. They're not in it for God. If you've got somebody that's got a mega church and they have to have a mansion worth $15 million, really? Really? Are they in it for the ministry? Really? Is that what they're doing? Makes you kind of wonder, doesn't it? Kind of makes you wonder if they're just a little bit egotistical about themselves and self-righteous about what God owes them for what they do. Why else would you have a $15 million house and you've only got a few kids? Why would you do that? If you were running a halfway house, where people are trying to get cleaned up and get out in society and work, and that would be okay, because then you're doing something for the community. But just to have a butler and a house cleaner and a pool guy and a lawn guy and a $15 million house to have 4 kids? No, I got a problem with that. So everything that God's doing, he's trying to reveal to everybody the truth before we get there. He's trying to position you in a place of understanding so you understand what's going on. So when the lights go out and your internet doesn't work except for the channels that they want you to watch, and you see somebody's face where they've admitted that they used to carve the flesh off of someone's face when they were tied to a tree so they could put their flesh on their face like a mask because they're sick. Are you ready to see that kind of stuff? Because it's coming. Are they going to show you all the gory details? No, but you're going to get enough to know what the truth is. And you're going to get enough to know that they were guilty. And you're going to get enough to know that they were punished. You understand that, right? Why do I know that? Because God's told us that's exactly what's going to happen. Tribunals have been going on. They're going to continue to go on. We're going to see these people tried, and we're going to see them held to account. That means we're going to see them punished. Not hear about it, we're going to see it. These people that are trafficking children, we're going to see the evidence. It's not just going to get talked about. It's not just going to be in the underground with somebody like me trying to get you to follow a link because you're too self-righteous to think, well, nothing like that goes on in this day and time. Yeah, it does. Wake up. For all of you that are in denial about anything that could be evil in the world, you have not been free a day in your life. I don't care how old you are. You have not been free a day in your life. God's already told us in his prophetic word that the United States of America hasn't been free since it was established. What? Yeah. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. How is it that all these people have accomplished all of this? Well, they control everything. Who is they? Pick one. The cabal, the Illuminati. What do you want to call them? If you want to know who runs the world, all you got to do is go back and look at one of the videos that I did on the Illuminati, Freemasonry, and all that other stuff. And some of y'all are Freemasons. You want to get mad at me? That's fine. The only thing I'll ask you is, do you know whoever founded the Freemasons, what he does every night? Have you met him? Have you had dinner with him? I'm not talking about the guy that you were asked by to join in your local chapter. That's not what I'm talking about. Are you rubbing elbows with the guys at the top that are the elite members? And how long has it been since you were offered an initiation to move up in the organization? Did anything take place that made you a little uncomfortable? Did you have to make a decision that went against something that they wanted you to do or not do, and then everything was changed? Something different? Maybe? What you got to understand is it's just like the Democrats sitting in their house every day watching the news getting angry at Trump. They don't know what Nancy Pelosi does at night. They don't know what Hakeem Jeffries is getting paid under the table to do what he does. They don't know how much money AOC is getting paid from the Chinese government to do what she does, or Ilhan Omar, Chuck Schumer. None of you know because you're not there with them. But they're the ones that have been stealing from you, and you're still waiting on them hand and foot mentally. Oh yeah, they're a great party. No, they're not. They're thieves. And if you go back and you really look at history instead of what the mainstream media wants to tell you, they're thieves. They've been thieves our entire lives, all of us. I'm 64. My dad, rest his soul, was 95 when he passed away. He never saw a free moment in his life. He didn't. Him and I would talk about stories of things that changed, because when he was young, you didn't have to have a driver's license. You didn't have to have insurance. You didn't have to have any of that. But you also didn't pay taxes. You didn't even have a birth certificate when he was born. What was that all about? I don't know. Maybe that's part of the control. Maybe. So with that said, I have a request that I make every time I do a video. If I had one request, you're already watching the videos, and I appreciate that. But I was looking today trying to find more content to put in this show. And I kept looking 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 and I kept looking, and I thought, there's so many things that I can't share because it's only here on Telegram. There is no video link I can send them that doesn't bring them here. So I'm going to tell you again. Follow the link in the description for a Telegram account. And when you join, I want you to go to the Witnesses of Abilene page every single day and just look at what's posted. You don't have to spend a lot of time. Just read the headlines and see if something catches your eye. I know what's going to happen. especially if you're one of those curious people. Every day that you get on there, you're going to start out at whatever time of the day. And you're going to get sidetracked by time, and you're going to look up and realize what time it is, and it's like, my God, where'd the last hour go? Or more. Because you found so many things that just completely took your interest. And it's like, what is that? I didn't even know that was real. So I'm just going to ask you again to spread this channel. Get all your friends and family and ask them what they think of me. Say, hey, I want you to watch this guy, see what you think of him. And when I made the comment about all these people joining the channel all of a sudden, I figured out what it was. I didn't know, but it didn't take long because the views kept climbing about that one video. And so I went back and I looked up. And it's like, what has got all these people looking all of a sudden? I've been a nobody, 8, 10, 12 people, and now it's 500 or 600. It was the title. Dismantling Tour, that's a group. It's a music group. It's a band. I didn't know that. And I certainly wasn't trying to trick anybody. That's exactly what Robin Bullock called the gathering on the 3rd of July in Nashville, Tennessee. So if any of y'all got aggravated at me, please don't think I was trying to bait somebody. I don't do that. But I was glad to know what happened because the next day, the next video I put out, now we're back to the same old thing, onesies and twosies. But I want y'all to understand that onesies and twosies is how we continue to grow, and I need all your support. I need you to bring as many people as you can, because when we get on the other side of this and we're where God wants us to be, that's when we're going to change the tone of all of this, and we're going to start talking about how we can bring people to the Lord and get them living a life for Christ as proud Christians and part of the movement to get the 1 billion soul harvest for Jesus. That's going to be God's gift to him for dying on the cross. That's where we're headed. That's what we've got coming. That's why God's going to set us up with everything that we need. We're all going to be healthy. We're all going to be in a different financial position than we are now. We aren't going to have anybody trying to kill us because we're standing on the street corner preaching. There's going to be an overwhelming need for churches, and there's not going to be enough. There's going to be so many people that want to worship, so there's going to be tents set up. Yes, tents. It's just going to spill out in the streets. There's not going to be enough room for everybody. That's the glory that's coming to the world. And some of y'all that don't believe in God, that's okay, because he's going to make you a believer if you're open to it. Now, if you've already committed yourself to Satan, you may have already been tucked underneath and forgotten about. I don't know. That's between you and God. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm looking forward to this. And I sit back and I watch all these headlines every single day that goes on. And I keep thinking, well, what's going to go in the next video? What do I need to share to wake these people up? What do I need to keep these people involved in what we're doing so they'll continue to spread the word and get more people involved in paying attention to the truth? Because that's all my goal is to give you the truth. So with that said, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the ones of you that are following the channel, whether it's on Rumble or YouTube, and just keep getting the word out. And remember, please consider following that link and starting a Telegram account. It's not like anything you've ever been to. It's not like it's not like Instagram or any of that other crap. It's like the other day I was looking and I was trying to figure out where I could maybe go and add some more opportunities, and I kept seeing threads pop up on Facebook, and I thought, what is this? Let me go check this out. So as soon as I looked it up, it said it was similar to some of the other platforms, and I thought, well, let me just go check it out. So I made an account. It's a meat market. It's basically an adult meat market and a place for people to complain about the government. I've never seen anything so censored in my life. I couldn't post anything that was against anything anybody said, no matter how it was tried to be worded. So as soon as I figured out what that was, I got off of there immediately. I don't have an Instagram account anymore because I hated that so much. I changed my Instagram account. I had two. You know how sometimes you can follow it and it'll say, well, you can log in with your credentials from wherever, and it gives you who you are. It'll give you your name and a number after it. I have one of those just because there's some stuff that's posted every now and then on Telegram that links to articles that are on Instagram. So I didn't get rid of both of them, but the active account that I had, that I spun off of to do the Threads account, I got rid of. So, is Telegram perfect? No, but neither is anything else. But one of the things they don't do is censor people. If you're there telling the truth, now if you're there attacking people, or if you're there advertising something personally, you're not gonna do well there, because there'll be plenty of the people that are normally there that's going to turn you into the admins and have you removed or blocked. So if you're this Bitcoin guy and you're a banker or whatever, don't get on there and start spreading the word about somebody, especially on a Christian channel. It's not going to go well for you. But you will not see anything in your feed until you join channels. So if some of y'all have tried to go and you logged in and you didn't know how it works, here's all you have to do. Go, just like I told you, get an account together and look up, as soon as you make your account, go back and follow with your account open the link that I have to the Witnesses of Abilene page. As soon as you go there, it's going to say join at the bottom. As soon as you click on join, it's going to let you join, and then it's going to put it on the left-hand side, and it's going to have a feed. And every time I post something new, it's going to put a numeric on that line to tell you how many new things that you haven't seen. And then as you want to grow your channel, the easiest way to do it is to follow things from other people's posts. Something that, well, where did that come from? Maybe it's something about health. Maybe it's something about COVID. Maybe it's something about whatever. Go follow the links and then just do the same thing that you did to become a member of mine. Click on join, and then it will give you the information that you need. Every time you log in, it'll tell you how many new things have been posted from everybody that's in your list of people. So that's how you gain a feed. But I'll promise you right now, if you don't want to get involved in it, if you'll just follow my channel, The Witnesses of Abilene, every single day, give me 7 days. And if you haven't learned anything or changed your mind about a few things, it'll shock me. That's all it's for, is awareness and education. The truth. That's it. It's the truth. So with that said, I love you guys. We're all children of Christ, the ones of you that are actually Christians that have been born again. We got to get through this. We got to get as many people involved in this as we can. And then when we get on the other side, we got to rejoice and save the souls for Jesus. I love you guys, and see you next time around.